How much of a surprise was it when word came down that, you know, the next fight was going to be for the belt? Because I think the general public kind of were like, wow, Gray Maynard, TJ Grant. It wasn't maybe the popular choice, but it is, you know, it's a vindication to you because a lot of the time in your career you've been passed over.
Yeah.
This was had to be a nice feeling.
Yeah. Well, looking at who's there and we're the two guys that kind of stand out the most. You know, Pettis dropped down. He was the clear choice. And
did you send him a box of chocolates or
I tried to ask for him to go up against him because he would have to wait for Gilbert and Benson to be over with. So that didn't happen. And so he dropped down. They offered TJ up, and that was a great bout. He's on a roll, and so, you know, to me, I thought that was the #1 contender before they even announced it.
With no finishes since 2007, it's been brought up a lot. How much is that in the front of your head?
Yeah.
Like, I want to go in there and I really need to finish. Yeah. I know the title's on the line, so it's a really fine balance that you're trying to leave here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, obviously we're all going for that, but you could tell people about that, about GSP. You could tell people about Benson, Edgar. You know, just a lot of guys. I mean, once you're at the top, the tip top, it's not huge margins, you know, to win by. You gotta calculate the smaller margins, look for the tiny holes to capitalize on, and you know, you kind of have to take it. But a lot of times going up against a guy that's not as good, larger holes open up, you know, to look for the knockouts. And I mean, you know, all of us could look for easy opponents and get knockouts, but we're all trying to go like up against the top guys. So I mean, you look at sports, you know, two top teams, it's always close.
It's true. It was evidenced last night by the Pacers and the Heat or any other.
Yeah.
You talk about, you know, TJ Grant. You talk about holes in the game. He doesn't really. He seems like a well-rounded guy, and on top of that, he's a grinder. Yeah. He's an annoying fighter.
Yeah.
Looking at that, just initial impressions on TJ.
Yeah. No, he comes at you. Not a lot of holes, kind of more technical holes than
something
large,
you would see that maybe
jiu-jitsu hole or like the whole boxing game or whatever it is. But not a lot of large holes, just small technical holes, and he comes at you, and you know, that's fine.
The last thing, the home farmer, is that kind of I heard you talk about it briefly. Is that kind of in contrast to battle the Monsanto and the privatization of seed?
Monsanto, yeah. GMOs, like all that stuff. That industry, you know, we're eating a lot of stuff that we don't even know what it is, where it came from, and for me, I mean, we can all learn off the past and look at a lot of older people, and they're still kind of healthy, that grew their own food and whatever
they didn't grow up with the stuff that we're growing up.
Yeah, exactly.
They grew up on natural butter and natural milk and natural fat. Yeah. We are all additives and unnatural, which is, I guess, what home farmer and also the privatization of seed. Sounds like what they're after.
Exactly.
So it's a conscious sponsor. Did you go out of your way to procure that sponsorship, or did they come to you?
We kind of knew each other because we live in that area, growing area, Bay Area, of course, and then it's just great sponsorship, and that's kind of what I do is look for small like organic places to buy my food. Why not grow it?
And you can feel good about it too. It's not an energy drink. I don't want to knock it, but I mean, it's you can feel good about it. They're wrapping them in the cage.
It's awesome, man. I love this sponsor.
All right, brother. Thanks for the time.